Hey guys, Scott Austin here. This video is a training video on how I've set up this store. So you guys have already, been playing with the store a lot, and you have been looking at the documentation from Out of the Sandbox and the documentation from Shopify, right? There's lots of good information from those sources. So this video is meant to fill the gaps and explain all the custom things that I've done. So I don't explain how to do things that are documented by Shopify or Out of the Sandbox, but I'm going to explain all the things that I've added to this store that, because I've added them, they're not documented elsewhere. And this video will probably be a little bit long. So what I recommend is you take notes and not notes on how to do things, but just write down like at minute, 25, the topic of product page videos is covered or something like that. So build yourself an index. So, later on when you want to like figure out how to do something, you can just look at the index and quickly go to that part of the video because it'll probably be about an hour long. They tend to be about that amount of time. So let's start, digging in here. The home page, which we worked on a lot here, right? So if I look at in theme customization, so I'm going to call this the back end, right? The Shopify admin, you'll hear me refer to it as the back end, and the front end, that's the customer facing side of the site. And I'm going to say the words front end, back end a lot, and switch between them really quickly. So and here on the back end with the theme customization section, right? Which you get to from online store theme customization, you can see all the different modules on the home page that we built. And this one is a standard theme section. It's just right now we have an image. You could overlay text on it if you wanted to. And it also has the two different sizes for mobile. And now I see here you guys updated the image, but you didn't put in an updated mobile one, which isn't bad, right? And by updated mobile, I mean a portrait or portrait one. So here's what it looks like on mobile. So it's just that little image there, which is totally fine, right? But you also have the ability to put in a second image, like you did. This one's zoomed in a little bit more, I can see, but it also could have been a portrait image if you wanted it to be. But that's just a design decision you get to make, and I assume this is what you want. So the next element is I kind of hack this one together to get this thing to work the way we want it to. Um, So that does the logo right there. This is just a simple text one that does this text here. This is a custom element, the featured promotions. This did not exist in the theme, so I used one of the existing ones to make it work. And I think you guys have edited this and know how it works. One of the things that you asked for, Dustin, was on mobile to make it look a little different, and I was not able to do that easily. Like I spent an hour trying to figure that out, and it's deep in the JavaScript that I would have to get to figure that out, and I just after an hour I stopped and said no, this is gonna be too hard of a problem to solve right now. Let's go next one. So and then we have this element here is a custom one that I created for you guys, which allows you to do the button over the video, and then you guys added it to the bottom also where you want to text. So I've added text in there. We might want to play with the colors and stuff like that, but that element works pretty nicely, and you're using it in a couple different places. This element is just out of the box from Shopify, image with text overlay. Same with these. These are image with text overlays that are made to be half the width of the screen. And this is also image with text overlay. Using a lot of those, right? So, and that's our home page. Now, what I've done is on mobile. Sorry, I'm choking up here today. On mobile, there's a light color background on this one, and the other one, where is it? This one here, I changed it to the brown, also the tan. There's a light background tint on those. That's actually added in CSS. And normally when I add CSS for an element like this, I'll add it inside of the theme customization because it allows me to right here, go down here and add custom CSS, which would be the logical place that I would put this. Here's the problem though. So this CSS is set up in such a way so that it only shows up on mobile, right? If you look at it on the desktop view, there's no background because the text is now over the image and not down here, so we didn't have to group them together. So there's CSS that I can write that says, hey, on mobile only, do this. And unfortunately, when I do the hey on mobile only, it doesn't work inside of this element right here. So what I did is I added a custom class, HPTV, and then I went to the custom CSS file that I created. So additional.css.liquid. This is all the additional CSS that I've added that isn't added like in the places that I just showed you. And if we do a quick little search for HP for homepage TV, you'll see here's the background color. So that's where that background color is defined. So if you wanted to change it, you'd have to go into the CSS file and change it there. And like I said, the reason I did it here is because I'm not allowed to do it here because this mobile only view, right? This says any screen size less than 480 pixels, which is mobile phones, do this stuff. And that kind of command doesn't work inside of this element. So I defined a custom class for this one, and that way this background color doesn't get applied to every element that's using the same component inside of Shopify, this same section called image with text overlay. So that's how I was able to make those custom colors, right? And if we look at the other element, which has the color on it, which I think is this one here, right? No, which is the other one with color? Oh, the lookbook. Right, so if we go to the lookbook, it's got a custom class added to it of HP lookbook. And here if we go and we look for HP lookbook, there's the color. Now we happen to be using the same color on those two elements right now, but you could have them be different colors if you wanted to, because they have their own lines of code in the CSS. So that I think explains our home page. And then what we have here, if I go to the mobile view, let's go over here and click mobile. You can see it lays out a little bit differently. And we've actually got here, this is a Klaviyo form. Notice there's two different forms. We have a desktop form which had the two input items side by side, and then on mobile we have all in one column. And on mobile we're centering the footer. Where on desktop it's more left aligned. Yeah. So let's go into the shop page. And if you click on the shop at the top level, right, which is actually what's going to happen for most people on phone, they're going to click here, right, and see this drop down, and they're going to click this shop element. Some of them might click the arrow and see the submenu, but I made the choice to make shop go to apparel, right? Something I can also do is we can make that top level shop link, instead of going to apparel, we could make it a page that says, hey, do you want to shop apparel? Or do you want to shop our technical gear? Right? I just made the choice to do this because I think it's your focus. It's going to be your strong focus for your initial launch. But the point being, we can point this to what I call a list of collection pages. This is, hey, do you want to go to apparel, or do you want to go to technical gear? Make a choice. So on apparel, you guys know how this all works. We've spent a lot of time setting this up. What I want to show you here is I've set that it shows items left for when it's less than 72, right? And that's a theme setting. It's built into your theme. The setting I had to increase because it only does it from like 10 normally. And I think for you guys with your limited collections, taking that up to 72 is a cool thing. But if I click on apparel here, click on one of these, that setting, if I remember correctly, is not here. I think that setting is under, and it gets a little confusing sometimes. It's under theme settings, and it's either under product form or product grid. I think product form. Yeah, there we go. Show inventory remaining. So if we uncheck this box, that 2 items left will go away. Maybe I have to refresh it or save it or something like that. And also, here's where you set the threshold. Like if you only want to show it when there's less than 10, I actually have some stores willing to show it when it's less than 2. But that slider allows you to change when the items left displays. Now, let's show you what happens. I'm going to go to the XXL here, and I'm going to edit the product. So I'm going to click this little button down here. This button, this gray bar down here, only shows up for people that are logged into the back end, the Shopify admin, and then go from the back end into the front end. So this is for store admins only, basically, right? So just us. Your customers will never ever see this gray bar, but it's really nice and handy to go, oh, I want to edit this product. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the extra large, double XL. I'm going to take that quantity down to 0, save, because I want to show you the experience for when there's no product in stock, right? So let's refresh this again. So there it is. It's grayed out, and if I click on it, it now says sold out. Notify me when available, right? So if I click on the notify me when available, this is a Klaviyo form that pops up. And what happens is we're registering the product and the variant, and they put in their email address, and they click notify me when available, and they're opting into your email list. And that's what this checkbox here is. So, and we can change the text of this. This is what you guys gave me before. So the nice thing about this is, if and when the product comes back in stock, you'll be able to go and automatically have emails go out. So if you just, if the quantity's at 0 right now, and you change the quantity up to 10 or any number, right? Klaviyo will automatically send an email out to everybody who's opted in for that product and that variant, that size, and they'll get an automatic email, which is super sweet. So let me just show you in Klaviyo. Actually, we probably don't have enough data, but what will happen in Klaviyo is, take me a second here, and one of my clients has 2-factor authentication turned on, so I always have to get my little code off my phone, and that is 717576. Okay. So if we're in state Ethos right now, and if we go to the flow for out of stock, back in stock flow standard, what will happen over time is we'll be able to view the back in stock product request report. So you'll have one page that you can go to, and like I said, there's no date. Oh, there's one. Looks like I signed up for it a while ago. But it'll show you by product title and variant the number of people that have queued up for it. So you'll be able to see, oh, these are the products that are popular that people want back. Maybe we should do another run of them or something like that. That report's a little bit buried, which is why I just showed you where it was. But it's nice that, when you have, a dozen products are out of stock, and you have them there for months and months, and, customers are coming in and checking things out, you'll start seeing a list of demand for them. And with your limited run nature of things, there's a lot of your products you're not going to be back in stock. They're gone. But this will give you an indication that, well, maybe we should do another run of one of these. And that's just a business choice you guys get to make. So let me just change that inventory back to 1 like it was. And save that. So you guys know the product pages really well. You got these beautiful little portrait images, right? And what I want to show you here is, let's go back into that product. So this product, the first image is in the product carousel, is the flat lay. And we're not showing the flat lay here. So I just added code that says, hey, don't show the first image in the product carousel. So the first image shows up on the collection page, right? So by default, the collection is built in such a way that it pulls the first image from the product carousel for a product. So that first image right there is showing up here like it's supposed to. And we don't want to show it here, right? Because the first image is going to come up. It's going to be this one. And and that's how it's done. So I'm just in code, I'm hiding the first image from showing. Now what I did for some of the, let's go right here. So some of your products, and you might have added them by now, I'm not sure, but some of your products didn't have lifestyle images, right? So what I did in those is, and you guys have done it also here, right? So when we go and look at this product, what we're gonna see, there's gonna be 4 images on the product, right? And it's gonna be this first image twice, right? So let's go in and edit that. Yeah, 4 images, the first one twice. So we repeat the first one because this image is not going to get shown, right? And you don't have a lot of images for this product, so you want to show your flat lays, where in your products with more lifestyle photos, you're not showing the flat lays. But on your hats, where you don't have as many lifestyles, you're showing the flat lays also. So that's why this image shows up twice, is because we're hiding the first one on the product carousel. Hopefully that makes sense. We've got this, you may also like slider, which is kind of nice, showing up. And this uses some Shopify logic from what it recommends. I don't know the algorithm behind it. And then we've also got the product carousel, the product accordion. So here's your returns and exchanges policy. This one is, I think, the default boilerplate one from Shopify. You definitely should look at this and edit it if you want to. And you're probably going to want to. It's just my guess, right? Most people do. And the shipping policy, we don't have one yet, but you guys should definitely document what your shipping policy is and put it here. Now, we don't have to show either one of these, right? It's just my recommendation, especially for apparel, right? People are going to want to know about the shipping cost and the return policy. So I like putting those on the product page so that customers can see that answer to these common questions without having to go elsewhere, kind of thing. So my recommendation is create a shipping policy, and you can see this is where you edit it. And this can be simple, right? We do, standard shipping, yada, 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 whatever. This doesn't have to be long legalese. It can be 2 or 3 sentences of plain English if you want it to be, which is what I would recommend it to be, right? So now let's go back to our shop page, because I forgot to show you the other element, which is this video here, right? So this video, the way I set up the products originally was I made a unique product template for every single video, for every single product, so that we could use what's called product sections, where you could go in through theme customization, this section here, and add in a video. But what you're going to see here, I had to change that, and I'll explain why here in a second. So here, there's this here's the video, and we're showing the image there. Ooh, I gotta see if I've broken the images or not. I'm not sure. So let me I'm taking a note here in my software over here. So product video, how is image rendered? So just so you understand the technical issues that I came across, right? So when we first built the apparel thing, each product could have its own template, and I could add in those videos manually through theme customization, and it totally works fine. The challenge became when we did the technical wear, is right now in technical wear, each of these products is defined as having a template called password. So if I go in and edit the product, you'll see that the template is password right there. But what happens is, let's go back here. What happens is once the username, or the password, not the username, but once the password is authorized, and you saw it there for a second, right? Let's go back and show it to you here. This password page pops up for a second and then goes away, and then this one here, password pops up. So that was the password template. And what that password template does, it says, hey, if this customer has already inputted the password before, then let's change the template of this product to be the technical template, as you can see up here, right? But the problem was I couldn't do that. Well, technically I could, but it's more code and it would have to be manually maintained. It'd be more work for you guys if what I had done was say, and for this, MX jersey for the Rizondo or however we pronounce that, for this one, make the template X, right? And for this other product, make the template Y. And for the other product, make the template Z. I could have done that, but it would, you'd have to like engage me every time you wanted to change one of them out. So what I did to make it more maintainable is instead of making each product page have its own unique template so that you can easily manage this through theme customization, and yeah, I can see here that I've got to fix that image thing, so I made a mistake there. What I did is I changed the way that this video shows up. So this one's going to be a fun explanation for you. So I'm going to log into the front end of the website, right, as a customer with this account that I created called Scott at Jade Puma. And I'm going to log in. Now, before I explain what you see here, I'm going to go to the back end and I'm going to show you my customer record, right? So I have a admin account, right, under settings, account, right? I have what's called a collaborator account, which is down at the bottom of this screen. Mine's going to be right there, Jade Puma, right? So that's how I'm logging into the back end right now. How I'm logging into the front end right now, and you can use the same username for these if you want to, but technically they're different accounts, right? What I'm doing on the front end is, if we look at, there I am right there. So there's my Scott at Jade Puma, and you'll notice what I've done is I've added a tag. And that tag is admin. Now, the only people who can add tags to customer accounts are us store admins, right? So your customers can't add tags, but we can add tags. So point being, you guys should all, if you already don't have a customer account, create one, and then tag it as admin, right? Because what I do is I grant admins certain access. So here in the account page on the front end, these admin functions only show up for users who are logged in and tagged as admins. And what you see here is there's film article metafields and product videos metafields. Now metafields are ways that I can store data that I can't access and show you inside of the admin, right? Because the Shopify has never built exposing that data in the admin, but the data does exist. And I can build a link that allows you to see them. So what we have here is the product videos metafields. And what this brings up is a spreadsheet view, the bulk editor view of all of the products. And we have the ability to add, this is the meta field, it's called video.lifestyle, and it just shows the lifestyle there, right? We have the ability to add a value to any one of these, right? So what I did is I took the theme code and added logic to the template that says if this product's lifestyle meta field has a value in it, then show the video element. And what it's showing for the video is this video here. So this URL, because we're using HTML5 video, right? We're uploading these videos to the Shopify storage, the file storage, which is located here under settings, files. So what I do is I just pull this link right here, copy link for the right video, right? And then I go back to here, and then I just paste it in there, which I'm not going to do because that was the wrong video. But if you put in a meta field here, it will, for that product, display a video. Now, for example, here on the Ballina MX Jersey Crimson, right? So the Ballina MX Jersey Crimson, which is, I think this one here, right? There was no meta field added. So when I go into that product page, there's no video. But on the salmon one, right here, salmon, there is a meta field. And when I go into the salmon, we'll see a video. Now I got to fix that cover image problem. Like I didn't think of that before, but I'll fix that. But when we click on each one of these, this is now the salmon video showing, right? And so that's how we define this video. It's no longer done in theme customization because I had to do it at a meta field level because of the technical challenge with technical wear all having the same uh, template name. And the nice thing about this is actually you don't have to create, because I literally had like 35 different templates for products before that I had to create each one of them separately, wire them up. So this is actually easier to maintain, but it's not done in the traditional theme customization section. It's done through this meta field thing. And what's going to happen once I fix this mistake that I just realized is when you click on this link, right, when you click on this link, product videos meta fields, it's going to bring up this, and you're going to see two columns when I'm done. One is going to be for the URL of the video, and the other is going to be for the URL of the photo, right? So we're going to define both the photo and the video here in the future. So I think I've explained our product pages and all the stuff we have in them. So let's add a product to the cart. So here in the cart, I added this little section down here, which is just a little, upsell promo area. And you get to edit that inside of theme customization. Let's see if I've got theme customization open. So yeah, so in theme customization, going back to the top level here, right? And I got this theme settings down at the bottom. Click on that, and we should have a section called Jade Puma Elements. So these are things that I've added that you can control to, the merchandising and stuff. So the first one here is, or not the first one, the last one I think is show cross-sell promotion in cart, right? So if I turn that checkbox off, save that. It's taking a second here. It's taking a long second here. Let's go back and see if it's changed it yet. Nope. So refresh the page, see what happens here. That was a really long time to save it, so we'll try it over again. So the way I got to that, it's still open to the Jade Puma Elements. I'm gonna scroll down to so show cross-sell promotion is unchecked, so we'll see if, yeah, so that element's now gone, right? So if you wanna show the cross-sell promotion, you just check it, save, and then what you can do is you can add 3 products in, right? So the first one is a sticker pack, and you can just pick a different product, right? And you can put some text that goes above the button and some text that goes centered below the image and the button. Right now I just have, the one piece of text above the button. So this text right here, right? And there's also some logic that says if the product has only one variant, when they click the button, it adds it directly to the cart. If the product has more than one variant, like size, right, then it'll take them to that product page where they get to select the right variant for them and add it to the cart that way. But what happens here is if I add it to the cart, the product is now added to the cart, and it shows, and this 4 thing is just because my cookies are all messed up because I've been testing this out and that kind of thing. It should add 1 to people's carts. And so now it shows the second product in the queue, right? So that product, if this sticker pack, if somebody had already added stickers to the cart, it wouldn't even promote the stickers, right? It would go straight to the second product. And then you can stack up to 3 products in that logic. Here we go. And I've got the sticker pack, the Bruto hat, and the Cordy beanie, right? And you can make those be anything you want and promote them the way you want to. So that's a little promotion in the cart. And also the colors, let's go back to the cart. These colors here, I picked the same gray that the theme put right here, and then I picked our khaki as the outline. Right, those are defined right here for cart colors. I also added another element, which is just called, show a general message in the cart. And this is actually kind of useful it's been really useful for COVID, for people saying, hey, we're open during COVID, go ahead and, place your order with confidence that we'll be there to fulfill it. It's also really useful if you wanted to say, hey, we're in, God, I can't even type right now. We're in Baja for 2 weeks. We'll process your orders when we get back on, let's just say, 17 May. Right, you could say something like that, and you could put an image in there. If you guys in Baja or something, I'm just going to throw an image in, and because I'm throwing a random image in, I actually don't know how it's going to look, but we'll see. And then what that does in the cart is it'll show that promotion once that's finished saving on the back end. Did I hit the save button? No, I did not hit the save button. So now if we look at it here, and that promotion shows up underneath this one. But this is, a handy thing to do for exactly this kind of purpose. Hey, we're in Baja for, a couple weeks filming, or, during the holidays, hey, we're going to be out of the office between Christmas and New Year's. Any orders you place now will be fulfilled when we get back, on the 4th of January or whatever kind of thing. So it's nice to be able to just put a message in there. So I added that element in. A lot of stores right now are using that for COVID, like I said, but COVID's kind of, everybody knows that everybody's open now during COVID. A year ago, it was more important to actually state that. So I'm just going to turn that off, remove that there, save that. But that element exists for you also. And the other thing that's in the Jade Puma elements is the password for this section right here under technical wear. All right, so I'm going to open up a guest version of the browser, because the guest version is not going to have the password saved inside of it, right? And I'm going to go to stateofethos.com. I'm going to log in using your SOE21. Gotta put that down there. SOE21, enter. So here, because I've not entered that other password, right? So the other password that's required here, that's the set right here. Let me in is what it's set at right now, right? And you guys can make this whatever you want it to be. Here's where you would change what it is. So if I go back to that guest browser session and type in let me in, now it lets me in. And if I go to the next page, that password page comes up. It goes, oh, they've already put in the password, so we're going to let them into the page. And the reason there's that delay that you see every time is we're loading that, I'm gonna go to technical. We're loading up that first page that is the password template, and that page has to load before the JavaScript runs to detect if that password has already been saved in the customer's local storage on the browser. It then detects that it has, but that happens after the page loads, and then redirects them to the product template without the password stuff on it. So that's why you see that every time you click on one of these, there's that thing happens. And I actually kind of like it because it's letting them know that they're behind that velvet rope. To get rid of that would actually be kind of a pain. But that's why you see that every time. It loads that page, and then JavaScript runs after the page loads. The JavaScript detects the password's already been saved by this customer, and then redirects them to the right page. Okay, let's close out that guest session. And we were in the cart. And what'll happen here, if I remove the sticker pack from my cart, which is one of our upsell products, and refresh the page, you'll see the sticker pack now shows back up as the upsold item. So now I'm going to go into, from here, the checkout. and just show you that the checkout is branded with your colors. That's all. We don't have a lot of control on a Shopify checkout experience on, we actually have no control over, what fields we collect and what elements show, but we can do a little bit of branding, and that's what you see here. Let's go back to the home page. So I think that's our products. And now let's talk about your content. So in our footer, we've got the 4 policy pages. The privacy policy and terms of service, these are boilerplates that I edited and formatted a little bit so they look decent. And you can edit and change those as you want to, but they're boilerplate from Shopify. We talked about refund and shipping already. You need to define a shipping policy, and I would also edit the refund policy to reflect what your return policy is going to be. And then we have one evergreen page here, contact us. I started off having a banner up here, but I never got a banner image from you guys. I never asked for it either, because you guys are so busy building other assets. But if you want to put a banner in here, just let me know what that file is going to be. I assume we're going to put a banner in here, and that's why I didn't worry about the contact us being left and that kind of stuff. I just threw something in there as a placeholder for now. But in this banner that we can put here, we can have a landscape version and a portrait version to have desktop and mobile different versions. The about page. This one you guys are happy with. This is just, I think we're doing this as a simple page template right now. Actually, I don't think this is a simple page template. Let's check. So if I go into edit, it is it's a page details template. So I use page details for lots of pages, like the contact us page is a page details template also. And you guys have already recognized this. I think BG, you were the one who has done it already for galleries, right? Galleries are done under pages, and it's a page.gallery template. But each page gallery, each individual page that uses a page gallery has to have a unique template. Just like I talked about earlier with products, every time you have a gallery template or a details template, you have to have a unique template for that page. So this one is for the about page. And if we looked at the contact page and looked at its theme, it's a template, it's got a details contact template. So I've already sent you guys the video on how to create your own page.details templates, and you already know how to do it because you've done it for page.gallery templates. But just wanted you to note that you have to do that. Now on the about page, which is kind of fun, right, this is stuff I think is fun. This content here is actually in the page. And what I mean by the page, if I go to edit page, right, it's this content here. And what that gives you is the ability to use this, what's called rich text editor up here. So you can change the color of elements and italicize, create bullets and all that kind of stuff. Some of the other places we add text in when we're doing it through theme customization doesn't have this rich text editing capability. So what you'll notice in theme customization, if I go to about, we've got a page details template which has multiple sections, right? There's under page sections, there's the custom HTML, which is how that about showed up. There's the image with text overlay, which is this one here. And then this is the whole reason I'm bringing this up, because you know most of this. Just wanted to point this out. We have the ability to add a section, which is the page content. And the page content being the content that is stored right here. So that's really nice that we can have a rich page details template with images and videos and text and all the other things, but we can also leverage this rich text editor and show content that way too. So that's what you're seeing here is, you edit this, you edit the layout of this, and like if you want to edit the image, you're going to do that in theme customization. If you want to edit this text, you're going to do that in the page description right here. Hopefully that all makes sense. So let's go to your rich content categories. Let's actually, before we go to those, I want to show the one that's not shown here, right? And that is a lookbook. So lookbook, as you guys know, it's on the home page. So here's the lookbook link. It takes you to a page, right? And this page right here this page is using that gallery template we just talked about a minute ago. So you guys know this already. I'm just covering it to be complete. Now let's go back to, and I already took a note down to figure out what's going on with this little spacing thing here. So I'll get that laying out properly. So now let's go to our big content categories. We got TV, film, gallery, and journals. Now TV, film, and journal are done through what Shopify, refers to as blogs. So if we look here, right, we've got pages, and we'll see our gallery pages here, World of Its Own, Spring Nationals, Weekend, that kind of thing. And then they've also got blog posts. And blog posts, these are where our video and our TV and film and the third category, whichever one that was, journal, are showing up. So if you want to add any one of TV, film, or journal, you're going to create what's called an article under the blog. So you go to blog post, and these are actually called articles, at least inside of the code. They call it blog post here. They're called articles in the Shopify code, which is why I have to explain why I'm confusing you. Why am I saying the word article? Because I see article all day long in the code. I didn't realize it says blog post here, not articles. So in your Shopify store, you can have more than one blog, obviously, right? So that's here. If we go to manage blogs, this is where we show our three different top level: film, journal, and SOTV. That's where you can see. So when you create an article, you want to create a new blog post, you have to pick which one of the blogs you want to assign it to right here, right? There's 1, 2, and 3. And the way it works is the TV and film ones have similar functionality going on, where we've got what you guys are calling the Netflix view, right? You've got the big image showing here, and that's a video that runs right here. And then you've got the older episodes down below that. So if you were to come in right now and create a 4th episode, and I think you have a 4th, it's just hidden right now. If you were to publish that, automatically what would happen on this page here is that 4th one is going to show at the top, and then the 3 older ones are going to show up below it. And at some point, I think it's like 10 episodes or something, it'll start what's called paginating this page. It'll say, hey, go to page 2 for more content and that kind of thing. So that's how that's working on the TV and on the film. All right, so the film's got this big Netflix, watch the video now, and it shows more content underneath. And then if you go to an article, it's got that big image. We've got a little bit of a gradient going on here. The text is underneath. And I did that because on mobile, putting this text over this image on mobile obviously doesn't work at all. There's just too much text. It covers the whole image. There'd be no image. There'd just be of the black gradient showing. And then it shows other content from that blog. So when we're on the film, let's see, here it says film, right? So when we're on a film article, it's going to show other film articles. When we're on a TV article, so let's just click on one of these, it's going to show other TV. And you'll notice here, we've got the nice, cover images that are landscape. And on this one here, we've got the cover images that are portrait, showing up as portrait there, and showing up as portrait there. So whatever aspect ratio you're using for a given blog's articles, covers, they're showing appropriately. Now, remember they were cropping funky before and that kind of stuff. So TV and film work pretty similar. And then the journal, this one's got, it doesn't have the video banner at the top, right? You're using just a standard banner. And then there's the articles underneath. And I think you guys understand how that all works. Trying to think if there's anything to explain. I think there's one thing I need to explain. Let me find out what it is. Oh yeah, I think I remember what it is. Let's go here. So film article meta fields. So remember, I'm logged in as an admin. I went to the account page, and now I see this other element here. I got the spreadsheet view. I'm editing, meta fields attached to blog articles, and I have two meta fields. One is the YouTube video, and the other is the cover image. Right. So the cover image needs to be stored in settings. I'm going to leave the page. Files. It needs to be stored here. And on this one here, we're not taking the full URL. We're not copying this information here. We're just taking the file name, right? Including the .jpeg. So and you can see that here pretty easily, right? So you just have to type in the name of the file, as long as it's stored in this, settings file area. Just take the name of it, type it in here, and that'll be the cover image, right? So we've got the banner image and the cover image, and you guys know this well because it's what you wanted. You gave it to me as requirements. So I'll show you how those two work here in a second. And then we've got the video. So this video, right? These videos are longer videos, so they show up on YouTube. So if you go to, let's just go here and go to TV and click on one of these. Watch video. I go to you. It's kind of a pain how that player is there. That's just built in. I can't fix that. I don't want that to show. If we see what happens if I go here. What I'm trying to do is go to YouTube and show you where that URL comes from, or that file name. And I'm having a pain doing that. So I'm going to have to do the old-fashioned way here in a second. And yeah, that player's not letting me do it. So let's just do this then. If I go to State of Ethos, I don't think you have your YouTube. No, you don't have your YouTube there. So I'm going to go to YouTube and just find your channel. And the State of Ethos. So here, you've got your videos, right? So here's the one we were just looking at a second ago. No, it's not. It's a different one, but okay. That's that video I love. Who's ever the drone pilot on that is amazing. But here, when I'm on the page for the video in YouTube, right? See this this is the video ID or video index of YouTube, for this video. So this string here only exists in all of YouTube for this one video. So this value right here, everything after the V equals, and if there's like a question mark and blah, 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 it's just everything between the equal sign and the question mark. That's what goes here. Then I use that in a bunch of code to, make it render as the YouTube video that you see on the front end. So here we're defining the cover, but also in an article, right? So if we go into online store, blog post, and we click on an article, Vegas to Reno, right? So here we've got the featured image, and we're only allowed to attach one image to an article, right? And that's why we created the meta field for the other image. So on all of your videos, you've got two different images that are being used at two different times, right? And the best example of that is right here, where here this is, one of those images, and here is the other of those images. So on episode 2, right, so episode 2, let's go here to episode 2, which is this one here. So here, the featured image, that's what we show here. Now here on episode 3, this image comes from here. So episode 3, this banner image is right here. Now if I was to click on episode 2 and see down below on the other related articles, we now see for episode 3 that different image, right? that different image is going to be stored here under episode 3. Where is 3? Right there. This image is that image. So hopefully that makes sense, right? We've got two different images we're using for two different use cases. One is the overlay for the video, right? And the other is when showing a list of articles. And those are different aspect ratios, and you guys wanted them for as different images. So there's a consistency and a little more richness to the layout, and that's how we did it. We're using one image, which is the only one we're allowed, attached to the article, and then we're creating a meta field with the other image right there. And then in the article page, right, there's no video shown here, and that is how we get this video here. So there's some liquid code. Liquid is the Shopify's server language. There's some liquid code that says if on a given article page there is a value in the meta field for YouTube, then show the video on that page. So it's just extra logic I added in. So if you don't have it, it won't show up, right? So let's go back to. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to explain. Yeah, here we go. So if I go to an article page, I've got article content and I've got an excerpt, right? And right now these are kind of similar for you, but you're also formatting them a little bit differently, which I don't know if that was a conscious choice or not, but basically I want to explain how these two pieces of content are working. So we're looking at episode 3 here. So if we go here to the top level of TV, and this is episode 3, this content here, this is the excerpt. And I can see that, right? So there's that bolded director, right? And cameraman, it's bolded, right? So if we go back to here, this excerpt, right, this content is showing up when the blog is promoted not on the article page, right? So right now, this blog article is being promoted on the top level blog page, not on the article page. And if you were also to add on the home page, if we were to add there's a blog, we're not using it, right? But if you were to add a blog section that promoted the blogs, it would pull the content from the excerpt. Now that said, if we go back to TV, and now I'm going to go to the blog article page for episode 3. The way I'm going to get to that is I'm going to go to episode 2 and then click on the episode 3 there. Right, so now, right here, I'm on the article page, not on the blog page. So a second ago, so this says blogs, SOE TV, Vegas to Reno. A second ago, I was on this page, which says blogs, SOTV, without the article URL Vegas to Reno. So here now I know that I'm on an article page, and this content here, right? Notice there's no bolding of producer and cameraman. This content on the article page comes from this section here, right? So you can have a much longer description that only shows up on the article page, and you can have a short description to show it at the top level in the navigation elements. So that's how those two different things work. And let's go back here. I think we've explained TV and film. Journal's pretty simple. It's not as complex as what we're doing in TV and film. Now on gallery, so gallery is not done through blogs. Gallery is done through pages. So each one of these galleries is a page element in Shopify. And you guys know that already because you've been setting them up. And then what this page is a page.details template where we add an element manually. So the nice thing in blogs is when you add a new TV episode in, it'll automatically update it everywhere, right? On these other sub-page, the article pages will promote it, and this article will move down, and episode 4 will show up here automatically. That'll all work really nicely. Galleries isn't using blog functionality, and the reason for that is article templates can't have as rich of a customization experience like you have in the gallery pages, right? Um, so that's why I chose to use pages for these instead of articles. So the upside is you get to have the richer experience, what I call the Lego template for the gallery here. You get that richer experience, but you have to manually, when you add a new gallery, add it to this page. So this page is edited through theme customization, right? So you just click on theme customization. It's going to bring that up, and you'll add a new block, it's called at this level, because this page sections is a section. You open up that section. These are blocks. So you would add a new block for the the newest gallery, and then you can click and drag it to place it where you want it to be on that page. And then you would, for the gallery, right? So if you want to create a new gallery, you're going to have to make a unique template for that gallery, like I was talking about before. And like I said, you guys know how to do this already. This BG does because he's done it. So here, if I click on, I'm going to click on Edit Page to show you that its gallery, its template is called, this is the original one that I created, Lego, Gallery Lego. So that's a world of its own. If we go to another gallery, Spring Nationals, and click on its edit page and look at its template, it's going to be a different gallery name. Yeah, Gallery Spring Nationals. So every time you want to create a new gallery, you've got to create a page, create a new template for that page, a gallery whatever template, add that to it, and then go into theme customization on the top level gallery page and add it in there. Hopefully that all makes sense. And right now we've got the overlay color turned off on this. Still got the icon showing up on hover, which I like because then it gives you this full screen view thing and people can scroll through it. This is really nice. I like this functionality. Okay. Just wondering if I think we've covered everything. So let's go back to our home page. I'm just looking here. Yeah, we have covered everything. So hopefully this is helpful, and let me know if you guys got any questions. Thanks a lot.